smarter than I am. It was sloppy. You're a contender to go on, but you take words as seriously as any man who's ever. and it was frankly dumb. I sent you a text shortly thereafter, and let me tell you what I meant to say. I was saying that the thousands of peaceful protesters supporting Donald Trump are terrorists. What I was referring to.
Ted Cruz, go fuck yourself.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Nothing Alive. I'm Jay Tyler.
I am your Ms. Parker. Yeah. And I'm writing him on the list, and I'm putting a check mark by his name because he kind of double-dicked himself today.
Okay. This delicious piece of ace.
Looking fine, looking like such a fine specimen of man up there.
Better man I'll never see.
Oh, Presley Stutz.
I know what I'm
Presley Stutz in the house.
The lady quiet while the man talks.
Oh, you got to play that.
This committee, I have spent a lot of years working in law enforcement, working to punish, working to incarcerate violent criminals, and working to deter violent crime before it occurs. If the objective
your face is a violent
is to stop violent crime, what is effective?
I don't listen to women yelling. I tell them to shut up.
Criminals.
MTG.
Unfortunately, the pattern we've seen from our Democratic colleagues
here we go
is that inevitably when a shooting occurs, such as the horrific, bigoted, racist shooting in Buffalo.
Horrific, bigoted, race. Is that the best three adjectives you could come up with? But of course, they're admitting it at first, but they're going to deflect to the Democrats, but also by saying, oh, he's mentally ill. We always want mentally ill people to be off, not be able to get guns and stuff.
Oh, yeah. And wait for the blame Obama on your bingo card. Hover over that blame Obama thing.
Yeah, but Kyle Rittenhouse wasn't insane, and he waded into a crowd of people and shot a couple of them. So he shot one person.
Yeah, and they worship him like a
all
hero.
Of us are horrified by.
So somebody told
Democrats,
Ted Cruz, they were like, it's like I told Mr. Cruz, the honorable gentleman, to do your best approximation
of sympathetic,
sympathetic, son.
Sympathetic.
Chairman just did, saying the cause of this horrific and racist mass murder is wonderfully and conveniently the opposing political party.
It's not convenient.
That's cynical. It's dishonest.
Shut up, racist.
It's wrong. And in this instance, the facts of this particular deranged shooter don't even fit the story they're trying to tell. Yes, he was a racist and a bigot and an anti-Semite, all of which are repulsive.
SNL's going to have fun
with this. He was also leftist.
Putin stooge.
He was also an environmental extremist.
Oh, here we go.
Talked about that if we don't stop consumption in this world, humanity is going to die off. And yet
well, I never thought I would side with these crazy shooter guy over Ted Cruz. A man notoriously known for leaving his entire, this man, this is his approximation of sympathetic.
Yeah.
The man is a psychopath.
Completely.
Certified, man. He left his own state. He was just like, it's too cold. Instead of manning up and being like a leader, man, you ain't no George Washington.
Do an MRI of my brain and then do an MRI of his brain. My amygdala is probably about this big. His is probably about that big.
Wink, wink.
No, I don't see my Democratic colleagues saying their intemperate advocacy of the Green New Deal caused this psychopath to murder people. He's also someone who has condemned conservatism and capitalism.
Stop it right
he hates capitalism.
He's drawing a parallel between the Green New Deal and this shooter, but he's not drawing the parallel.
He's comparing him to a leftist warrior because he's railing against capitalism. He's railing against consumption, which is fossil fuels and stuff, and he's railing against these. He's like, these things are. He just got fed up. He's like, how else am I going to get your attention? I guess I'll go shoot up a black neighborhood, but he was very racist, obviously. I mean, allegedly very racist, but I mean, I'm gonna make an assessment. You're like, yeah, pretty racist, dude. Whether or not he was mentally ill, whatever, you can deflect it all you want, Mr. Cruz, but in the end,
he's listening to fuckers from your party.
Yeah, it's not coming. The violence is not coming from our side. We take our the people on the far left, they take out their violence on your idol worship, man. All your goodies, we just burn your goodies, right? Ain't nobody gonna. What's the point of looting a Chanel store? Set that sucker on fire. It's bound to burn, full of all that alcohol. He's going up like a candle.
And yet I don't see my Democratic colleagues saying, well, all the socialists in the Democratic Party are the cause of this lunatic, racist mass murderer.
Dude, that's all we've said so far. We've only said racially motivated shooting. Nobody's really like, oh, is he this left-wing lunatic? Is he a Ted Kaczynski type character?
Or is he even a Republican? I haven't heard anything like that.
I'd love it if he was.
So he's making it political while accusing
us, the left,
the other side of the aisle of making it political.
Of course. And Ted Cruz, the master of nothing. Like they really could have had a better spokesperson. Ted Cruz.
Go fuck yourself.
Dude, you're a waffle iron to me. If
the objective is to stop,
you're a two-loader waffle iron.
We should focus on policies that work.
Right. And of course, guess what he's going to bring up next? A policy that him and Chuck Grassley came up with that the Democrats shut down. Probably because it was full of a bunch of garbage. You're like, yeah, we'll give you a little weak-ass gun rights.
Yeah, but we're also going to
we know that
we're gonna get rid of the trade show loophole. We're gonna not get rid of the trade show loophole. We're going to give a little tax cut in there.
That's all there is to it. Like consistently, the policies that work are policies that target violent criminals. Now, 10 years ago,
the target violent criminals, meaning that's code for black people. Right? Violent criminals. And
legislation, the Cruz legislation, designed to go after felons and fugitives and those with serious mental illness. When they lie and try to illegally buy a gun, to prosecute them and put them in jail.
Dude, it kind of, to me, makes you an accomplice after the fact, man. It's like mentally ill people, despite what you think, are not, they're smart. They're clever. They're good at getting around your system, man. And it's like, yeah,
some are, and most of them are not violent.
No, I'm mentally handicapped people are not violent.
No, I'm talking about people who have a psychosis. They should not have guns because they're probably going to hurt themselves.
Part of being a psychopath is learning how to fool your
but a psychopath is not psychotic.
Again, he does what is passable for empathy or sympathy. He does what's passable as it. But anybody in the world could tell, like, he doesn't care.
No, I mean, anybody who has any empathy themselves.
He's like one of those people that goes, I don't like to put myself in a box. And I'm like, you just put yourself in a box of people that don't like to be put in boxes. And this guy is sitting there going like, it's just like, it's them. So look, they're trying to make it all about us. And it's like, dude, that's because it's all about you. Go on, Mr. Cruz.
To ensure that our databases are complete, in Texas.
I love it. Here it comes.
I'm sure that's a real high priority, Ted.
This is what comes in it. This is the one time there was this one guy that I heard about somewhere that like flipped off and shot, and there was this one thing we could have done to stop that one guy. Not, hey, we stopped 4,000 other people from guns. No, it's just that we missed that one person, right? And they're like, oh, well, we missed one person. The system's not perfect. Get the fuck out of here.
It mandated the Department of Justice conduct an audit of federal crimes to make sure.
Yawn. Hey, this is the bureaucracy portion of how people screwed up. Like,
not only that, Grassley Cruz also created a gun crime task force to prosecute felons who try to illegally buy firearms.
Okay, so
dude, felons. So they're already felons. Oh, go ahead.
This is a hearing on gun violence and domestic violence, but he's promoting the bill that he and that old
they did 10 years ago. Right. And you know why? It's probably because it didn't work. Right. There's probably laws in place that supersede those anyway. Right. But he's just like, we made this law and the Democrats totally shot it down. It's like, no, it's probably so full of pork, you know.
I think he's coming up for re-election. I think in 2024.
I thought he just won recently.
I'm gonna have to look that up. I think he won in 2018.
Okay, well, one could only hope this genius goes.
Which means that deranged mass murderer would have been in prison.
Right. So what he's saying too, he's like, we're going after felons. It's like, dude, this guy didn't come pre-felon. And he flew under the radar on your mental health test because I would say they're knowing your state that you got to make it pretty easy to pass the mental health test.
I don't think the standard is very high.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know a lot of Texans that are dope dudes, but
yeah, same.
This man is not one of them. Not one of them. All right. Oh God. Do you want to go more? Or do you want to get into?
Let's get into Pastor Locke because, I mean, we can go off against this guy later, but yeah, Pastor Locke is.
I mean, we can make a whole segment out of him. We're close.
Okay.
Just finish this.
Finish this.
Pastor Locke deserves his own praise.
Incarcerated instead of in that beautiful.
So instead of a gun, you guys get yourself a San Juan slingshot. Yeah. Davy Crockett.
Perfect segue. Perfect. Oh, and also get yourself a snare.
Yeah, we'll show you that in a second. David Crockett's wrist rockets. That's what I call them anyway. Hit us up at Nothing Yet Group, and we'll put gmail.com, and we'll put you in touch with them.
Not great for crabbing, but
these, on the other hand, are
great for shooting zombies.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. There's bait shop up in Pacific.
Oh, you washed them.
First time. Oh yeah.
Yes, Good Luck Bait Shop on Francisco Avenue.
Yeah.
Right near the pier.
In Pacifica.
Yeah.
So this is how crab snare works. You throw it in the water, put some stuff full of shrimp, and then when a little sucker gets in there, and then you pull them up, and then you bring them home and eat them.
If enough.
Yes.
You gotta. Yeah, he left out the part where you gotta measure them, and
that's funny.
1 out of I think 11 crab were too small.
Snare right here
with a rope. With a rope, not even with a fishing pole.
Oh my God. So yeah, Ted Cruz, go on, sir.
Murdering those innocent people. We had a vote on the Senate floor on Grassley Cruz. It got a majority of senators voted for it. 52 senators voted for it. That was in the Harry Reid Democrat Senate.
Was it? Was it in the Harry Reid Democrat Senate?
Because you know what he's going to say. You know what's coming up next, right?
A majority Democrat Senate. Now, you might think, okay, a bipartisan majority. Surely this passed. Well, no. Turns out Senate Democrats filibustered Grassley Cruz. They demanded 60 votes. And my Democrat.
Oh, you want to talk about filibuster?
For the filibuster to stop Grassley Cruz from going into effect.
Wait for it.
Why was that deranged shooter not in jail? Because the approach of today's Senate Democrats is to try to go after the firearms of law-abiding citizens instead of targeting the violent criminals that are the real threat.
Let me guess what complexion those violent criminals have. Mexicans and black people, I'm assuming. Dude, you have to, like, this guy was not a violent felon. He had a small history of mental illness, but he was under the age, he just turned 18. So it was like, dude, he didn't have no record. What are you going to do? Even if he was a bad kid or whatever, dude, those records are sealed. Son, it's called privacy.
You know what? I think those records should be unsealed for somebody who's purchasing a gun.
Far too many women, children, and even some men are victims of domestic violence.
Even some men.
But
Yeah,
yet
you're
when it
about
comes
to be.
Firearms, yes, are used
Your
by
daughter.
violent criminals, but they are also used over and over and over again by victims of violent crimes to defend themselves.
I bet the number is way different.
If any of us could pass a law to end domestic violence in America,
we would ignore it.
and
We would ignore it like we do domestic violence.
over the course of the
But
past
anyway,
decades,
You know, was he
So
in
he-
office
so-
when the Violence Against Women Act was
I'm not sure. We got to kill this though.
okay.
But we will in a second. But check this out. He goes on to blame
Oh,
Barack.
Obama. Yes.
He goes on to blame Obama.
Yeah. So put that on your bingo card. You get a freebie
God.
there.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Obama. I need that airdrop back. Thanks, Obama.
Yeah.
Thanks to you for all the freedoms that I enjoy. And hey, you know what? Ted Cruz,
Go fuck yourself.
I am the Jay Tyler.
I am your Miss Parker, and
That's-
this is Nothing Yet Live. It just doesn't listen to me.